One of the problems we will sometimes encounter with gradients is that, like in this case, these bars appear and the color is not properly distributed. This issue is known as banding or pasteurization, and it happens especially in long gradients with very similar colors or also when black and white are involved. But this is not a rule because it can happen with any kind of gradient. This really makes it look awful and like the work has been done poorly. When this type of issue appears, we can respond two ways. Either we tweak the colors a bit and see if we can find a solution that doesn't pasteurize as much, or we can put a bit of noise in the gradient. I personally prefer the second one. I'd rather put some noise or grain. In order to do this in Photoshop, we can use several options. The first one would be adding a noise filter, going to Filter, Noise, Add Noise. Choose the amount and whether we want it to be monochromatic or not. Click OK and notice the banding disappeared. We can find the second method in Camera Raw. Let's click Filter, Camera Raw Filter, and clicking on the FX icon we'll find the option to add grain. Let's add the quantity we want and we'll be able to set the size and the roughness of the grain. We'll find the last option in the filter gallery inside the filter menu. Here in the texture folder, we'll be able to find a grain filter where we'll be able to modulate the intensity, the contrast, and choose among different types of grain. If we want to add noise in Illustrator, we can do so using the Appearance tab. Select the gradient to which we want to apply noise, click the FX icon, and inside Texture, we find Grain. This would be the same filter we find in Photoshop's filter gallery. As you can see, the options to add grain are larger in Photoshop. Anyway, the compatibility of both applications is very high, so it's quite common to create your work in Illustrator and make the final tweaks in Photoshop. Through all the projects we'll make in this course, I encourage you to try with the different ways to texturize so you can see which ones you like and which ones you don't. See you in the next lesson, where we'll start with the designing of our first poster.